And they said, do you know this Alice Cottle lady? And I'm like, well, I've heard of her, but I don't know her very well. They're like, well, man, she's a go-getter, Pawnee City Council. She's going about the lake and all these things. And I'm the chairman of the Wildlife Committee. And so that bridge, they're calling me about this Alice Cottle from Pawnee that's doing all these great things at the lake. And I'm sure she's going to talk about a few of them tonight, and I do appreciate her doing that. I get updates from the state of everything that Pawnee's doing. And so, like I said, I see the director all the time, and every bill that goes through the Wildlife Committee comes through my committee. And so I bug them all the time. And that's that bridge. And me and Alice had talked about it. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to link up with her as much as I like. But she has great ideas of connecting that bridge as well, between county, city, and all the three. That becomes silos. And we're trying to get away from that because, again, the people of the district and the city and the town and county are what matter. And the more collaboration we have, the stronger we are, and the stronger you're represented. So I do appreciate Alice and everything she does on that. Just talking a little bit about what we're doing at the state and some of my bills. One of the big ones that I talked to Virginia about this a second ago, and it's in the progress, but rural economic development and getting money into rural areas. Obviously, we lost the rural rep. House District 36 was basically collapsed and sent down to Edmond because we're losing that much, and then I go up to Pawnee now. And so again, we're losing people in rural Oklahoma. Obviously, that's a concern of mine and everybody at the state. We know, and I campaigned on this, the Protect and Preserve Rural Oklahoma, which is the heartbeat of America. And so again, there's private entities, and Chairman Wallace of the A&B is trying to get a $100 million incentive for private entities to go up to $100 million investment into a rural area, and then they start getting some rebates and tax breaks and stuff like that. And so again, being collaborative with cities, counties, and state, I'm trying to bridge that gap. I met with the Department of Commerce and some private investors in Stillwater just this past weekend, and we're going to talk further on it. And I talked to Virginia that we're going to move this forward as well and let her know. So as far as my bills that I'm running, one of the big issues that I met with the sheriff of Noble County, and he had a group of Noble County come together, and the cattle, a special ODAF investigator came, and he was talking about stolen equipment and these consignment sales, how they're pushing, $250,000 bulldozers through a consignment sale with no tracking mechanisms, but you got to go to a pawn shop and pawn a toaster. You got to leave a blood trail all the way, to wherever. And so I took that idea and created what is the Consignment and Commercial Auction Act, and it basically allows you and creates data that people have when they sell things, and it goes into the thing called leads, which when I was a sheriff's in law enforcement, right, leads wasn't invented, right? And again, I'm sure Wes and they use this. This is a great tool that if we can get people to enter the data into this, we can help solve some crimes and theft. And so I'm excited about that one. And there's another one that hopefully, Jerry, you'll like this one. It's, the county road tax credit. So I'm trying to get revenue for the counties where we can start funding our own infrastructure. And so the idea is a tax credit, depending on the size of your county, depends on the percentage of the tax credit you get. For example, Pawnee County's 25,000 population or less, we would be able to donate directly to a fund in the county at 100% tax credit. Again, these are heavy lifts. It's never easy to get a bill passed. Chairman Wallace has helped me work on this, and I do hope to get that passed this year, so we can fund and get some money on the county infrastructure, which I know is desperately needed. And always got to talk about this a little bit just to calm people down about it. The medical marijuana is the #1 industry we have in the state of Oklahoma, period, hands down. It's the biggest issue we talk about literally every day. And there's several bills filed this year. Every year there's bills filed. There is a lot of good things. OMMA has no teeth. It has no teeth. They can't enforce any of their laws that we have on the books. Seed to sell is one of the big mechanisms that as soon as we implement it, it'll cut down on a lot of the illegal activity. There's an injunction supposed to be lifted February 24th. What is it, 22nd? So in 2 days we should know an injunction lifted where they can actually implement this. And the thing about it is, it's one of those things that was written by the industry for the industry and then passed by the people, which became in the Constitution. So for us to change it, as I say us as in legislators, it took several years because it looks like we're going against the will of the people. Rightfully, most people didn't know what they were voting on. Again, this is part of the issues that we're having, and we did give $5 million to OBNDD to stand up an agency inside their agency just to oversee and help bust it. Today was the biggest bust in the world, I think. And I know at least in Oklahoma, in 5 different counties and 6 different locations, and so again, and it's a name you can't pronounce. And so we know there's bad actors in Oklahoma, and we're trying to get rid of it. And again, we'll see. Like I said, there's several different things, and it's going good. There's a new director, Adria Berry. She's done very well. They came in and they got 60 inspectors now, which was the biggest part. We had 14 inspectors for the longest time. We were at 11,300 grows. We're down to 9,000 grows. So again, we're whittling away at this, but it's going to take some time. And I'd love to take any questions at the end, and if you guys catch me afterwards, I'd love to speak to you and know what you guys' concerns are, because again, I work for you, and if I don't know what issues you guys have, I can't help. And so again, reach out, call, email, text, and let me know anything I can do, guys. Please don't hesitate to call. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ty. Next up, we have Virginia Rogers with the Pawnee County Economic Development Foundation.
Thank you, Alice, for having me and asking me to speak. I am glad to be here. I want to talk to you a little bit about Pawnee County Economic Development Foundation. I want to start off by telling you the mission of our organization. It is to provide assistance to Pawnee County for its business growth and economic development. Our history began 15, almost 16 years ago, when Pawnee County voted to establish an Economic Development Foundation. Don DeRusso was one of the secretaries who became president. Tom Briggs served on this committee for a long time. Sybil Blake was our secretary 15 years ago. She is still our secretary. We meet the second Tuesday of each month. We are subject to Oklahoma Open Meetings Act, our rules and agendas, and our agendas are posted each month with the county clerk. We have recently acquired an office space in the newly vacated old DHS building, so we're excited about having an office in the facility of the county courthouse. So like I said before, this was enacted 15 years ago by a vote of the people of the county, and our funds was approved by a 0.5% sales tax, the county sales tax, passed by our voters. The money is held for us by the county treasurer, and it is paid out through the normal requisition and receiving procedure of the Pawnee County Clerk's Office. Our board members are appointed by the Pawnee County Commissioners, and there are 3 different board members, 9 board members, 3 from each of the 3 county districts, county commissioners districts. Currently, our officers are, I'm president, vice president is Joyce Freeman, secretary is Morris Bryan, treasurer is Connie Fulter, tutor. Board members are Art Long, Connie Tudor, Barbara Hudgens, Morris Bryan, Joyce Freeman, and me. Some of our past projects that we've had in years past, we have prepared pamphlets to be distributed throughout the county, telling about describing Pawnee County and what it has to offer. We've contributed to the Pawneeville Memorial Rodeo when they underwent a change in management. We've contributed years past to Cleveland's Jolly Rogers Days, the Cleveland Athletic Program, and the Pawneeville Wild West Show. And we were a major contributor to the 2019 Lieutenant Governor's Turkey Hunt. Some of our most recent projects has been the purchase of approximately 42 acres southeast of Cleveland. 5 acres of that was sold off several years ago, and it is now occupied by Eagle Infrastructure Services. We are in the process of selling the remaining approximately 37% to a business that wants to relocate from Pawnee to Pawnee County. Yeah. We have also, in years past, we were a contributor to help with the Brownstone project, which was the removal of asbestos in the old hospital building. We've assisted with the purchase of a van for United Community Action. We participated in the updating of the American building, which is now occupied by J&J Fire. We've provided funding for the renovation of the Rodeo Event Center seating. We've worked with J&J Fire on equipment purchases, provided a grant to a new startup, a new Main Street business here in Pawnee, assisted with the purchase of replacement equipment at a Pawnee business, provided a grant to a downtown Pawnee business for roof repair, provided a grant to a downtown business for heating and air. We have many plans. We're here for the community, for the development. Our idea is to benefit in the development of Pawnee businesses, both for current business owners and for new business owners. We strive to seek out opportunities to assist our citizens in their business ventures. And we are 2 members short on our board. If you are interested in becoming a board member, please see me. We'd love to talk. Thank you.
Thank you, Virginia. Next, we have Mrs. Stacy Womack. She is the Pawnee Public School Superintendent. She recently had a surgery, and so she has graciously came in her healing process to speak with us about this year with the school. Thank you,
This could be a
Stacy.
trick. I'm not gonna be a mover, I will tell you that. It took a second to get organized here.
First off, I want to begin by saying thank you to Alice and to all of you for being here. I really appreciate this opportunity to come before you and tell you some great things that are happening at school. First off, I want to say that most of you probably know that I am actually an implant to Pawnee, which means I was not born and raised here, but instead my family and I chose Pawnee as our home. And so I think that says a lot about this community and the things that it has to offer. There were 4 great things that really stood out to us whenever we were making that decision, which now is almost 20 years ago. First, I would say pride. This community embodies pride. When you drive through the downtown area, you can tell by the way people take care of the businesses and the courthouse lawn and all of the bump outs. There's a lot of pride in this community, and I appreciate that. Second is perseverance, and this community has faced a lot of perseverance, yet we always kind of bind together and see through that and come through on the other side. Opportunity, there are so many things that are going on in this community. If you're not crazy about one item, there's gonna be something else the next weekend that you could certainly get involved in. And I think that's another testament to this community and the way that they bind together to create that sense of belonging. And then obviously the last thing that drew me here was education. And some of you may know that I was here years ago. I student taught, and I was actually offered a position, but I didn't live in Pawnee at the time. And so I was like, I hate to turn it down because I loved it, but I left and immediately regretted it. So as soon as there was an opportunity for me to come back, I was excited at that and came back. I spent several years teaching and then middle school principal before I made the transition into superintendent, which is where I am now. And so it's been a great opportunity for me here. Pawnee Schools is incredibly blessed to have the support of so many partners within this community. We have parents, we have individuals, we have organizations, we have businesses, and they provide financial support. They provide volunteering hours, and all of these things are what make us a success at Pawnee Schools, is by all of the contributions that we get from people. We have students that participate in extracurricular activities. And I know that that's not the most important thing at school, but that's what drives a lot of our kids to make school a priority. And so we are proud of the fact that we have a lot of options for our kids to participate. We have drama, we have band, we have art, we have music, we have FCCLA, FCA, Pawnee language, we have NPIC. Our students have a lot of choices whenever they want to get involved in something, and so we encourage that in our students. We also have the opportunity, if I can switch my here. We also have concurrent enrollment and Meridian Tech that our students are encouraged to be involved in, and that's an opportunity they can take advantage of when they become juniors and seniors. This year we do actually now have 20, or currently we have 20 kids that are going to Meridian. One of them standing at the back of the room that I'd like to brag on for just a second as he waves. Harlan has done great things by going through Meridian, and it's opening doors for him currently, and he's one of those kids that we hate to see leave, but I'm so excited to see where his future takes him as well. We also have 8 students that are doing concurrent enrollment. That is, they're doing high school credit and college credit at the same time. And it's at a reduced rate, so it's a benefit for our kids to become involved in concurrent enrollment. And so we try to push that. That number is growing each year, and we're excited to see that. Next, I would love to take this opportunity to stand here and tell you how excited and appreciative I am on the support that we received on the passing of the recent bond. To me, that says that you are here and you're in support of our future, today and tomorrow. And so we're excited about that. So that's kind of what I'm here to talk about, is the timeline. So as it begins to progress, you guys can see those transitions and kind of watch them as we all get really excited about them at school. Our elementary teachers are obviously the ones who are facing the biggest change, and they're in the process right now of packing things and boxing it up as they complete a lesson, because they all have to transition and make a move. And we know that there's a lot of obstacles and things that we're going to run into in the next year and a half, but we're also excited about that vision and that future of what it's going to look like when it's all said and done. General information, as far as our bidding process and all of that goes, so our basic timeline includes both the elementary and the ag barn. We're going to be building a new ag barn on some school property just down from the school, which is a great location because our kids can actually walk down there during the school day if they have animals. So that serves to be a great purpose for them. Our bid packets, which means all of the projects that are going to be taking place, are being put together by our construction management team named Navholes. And so they're putting those packets together. We have certain community groups that are interested in hopefully being able to bid some of those projects. And they're working at scheduling a time where community members can come, ask questions, and be part of that process. So we have a lot to offer when it comes to that, and we're hopeful that some of our small businesses or small groups can partner and make that happen with our school. Once bids are out and have come in and been accepted by the board, then that means prices are locked in. So we're excited for that to happen because everybody knows that when we started this process a year ago to where we are today, everything has increased. And so we're excited to get that locked in so that we know exactly where we stand with our money. And we still promise to have one building, one structure, everybody in it, and a secure campus. Those are things that we're not willing to waver on. So like if that means we have to do something different in the choice of tile, then that's what that means. But we're all gonna be in one building and it will follow the things that we're expecting it to follow. Elementary teachers will continue to pack and prepare for this transition. They have 1 week once school gets out in May to be out of the building. So elementary teachers have a lot of stuff. And so they'll be packing that up and they'll be vacating the building. During that time, we're also going to have our IT people come in and they're gonna any salvageable parts, things that are still good, they're gonna remove those, as well as our heating and air. If we've got new or gently used units, they're gonna remove those. And we're gonna put those in storage to repurpose them in other areas in the district, because we've got some units that are 20+ years old and some in the elementary that might only be 4 years old. So when those 20-year-old ones die, we now have some things that we can replace those with. So we're gonna reuse anything that we can salvage out of there. Demo is scheduled to begin shortly after that occurs. And completion is expected by July of 23. So we're hopeful that we're able to move in the 23-24 school year and start in that time frame. I keep telling them we've got to have this finished, and they keep telling me we're gonna do everything possible. So we'll see who wins this battle. Completion of the ag barn will be, once the bid is complete, and we know that this company has locked in because it's gonna be a metal prefab building. Right now we have a 9 to 11 month lead time on those, just because of the nature of the beast. And so once we have that secure, we'll have a better time frame, but it could be, you know, a year from now, or even a year and a half from now before the ag barn is complete, based on the fact that product is hard to get right now. So it's kind of crazy that that entire building, a 28,000 square foot building, could go up before a 5,000 square foot ag barn could go up, but that is likely, actually. We are also, some other things that we're doing, if you haven't been in the high school in the last year, it's exciting to see some of the changes in there. We've repainted all of the lockers and the halls. We've retiled the ceiling and the floor. Kind of gave it a bit of a facelift. If you open a classroom and you went to school there, it still looks the same. But the hallway does not. So we're working on it, but it's small steps. We've also put picnic canopies over all of the picnic tables on both the middle school and high school lot. Again, that's a huge contribution from Pawnee Nation. They were instrumental in making that happen, and so we appreciate that. And Levi Edwards actually built them for us, so lots of faces here that were instrumental in making that happen, and it's been great for our kids. We also have purchased 3 new buses in the last year, and a new ag truck. The new ag truck is here, it's put up. We don't use it as a daily driver, it's just gonna be used kind of for contests and things like that. So we're gonna keep it put up and hopefully make it last a little bit longer. We've also been fortunate, this is Jackie Young, who also works at school. She's here this evening. She's been writing lots of grants for us over the last year, and we found out last week, actually, that we were awarded a DEQ grant to help us in the process, or to help us purchase another school bus. So it's $20,000, which school buses a year ago were $80,000, and I'm sure it's only gone up since then. But at least that's a fourth of it. That's more than what we would have if we were gonna pay for it by ourselves. So we're excited to have that coming along. Another grant that we've been working on is with the Toro Company out of Perry. If we're able to receive that grant, then we would get some much needed lawn maintenance equipment. Ours is old and it's tired and it has seen its better days. So we're working on that as well. And so we're always excited to pursue new avenues, and I think that's a testament to some same things that Alice is doing in the community. There's money out there, we've just got to find the time and the resources to tap into those monies and make them available, and we're working on that. Couple last things before I'm finished. I'm excited about the future of where Pawnee is going, and again, I think if we continue to go back to the four things that drew us here, which is pride, perseverance, opportunity, and education, that the sky's the limit for us, our future, and where we're headed. And so I'm excited to be part of that. I do encourage any of you, if you have questions for me at any time, you can call me. You can reach me on email. I don't Facebook, I don't Twitter, I don't whatever, I don't do that. So you're not gonna find me there, but you're welcome to give me a call. You can come by and see me. Or send me an email, and I'd be happy to visit with you about what's going on at school and fill you in on those exciting events. And this weekend, we're excited to see some great things go on with wrestling. Again, Harlan, no pressure. But we're expected to have that come home, and we've got lots of kids participating in wrestling and basketball this weekend. So we're excited for that to happen. And anyway, I'm probably going to scoot out of here just because I need to get home. But I appreciate this opportunity, and again, if any of you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me.
Next we have is Joyce Freeman with the Pawnee Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you. This is exciting. Look at all these people interested in what's going on in Pawnee. I think that's pretty darn great. So, Ronnie, thank you for letting us use this beautiful facility. My goodness. And Marty, if you did the cooking, it was really, really, really good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes. Yeah, that was a good meal, very good meal. Well, I think most of you know that I've been in chamber we're working on the third year now. And our beloved Tom Briggs was the manager when I took over. He won the mayor's race and spent 30 minutes with me in training before he hit the mayor's office. So, Tom, I think of you often. We have lots and lots of good things going on at the chamber. What I'm most excited about at the very moment, and I have left the cards on your table. There's a card that talks about all the events that the Crossroads Smithsonian exhibit is going to happen. The March the 26th is our opening day. Yes, write that down, Todd, yes. That's going to run 6 weeks consecutively. We will be open during the week because Ronnie Brown and crew will help us with the exhibit. We'll have special greeters that will be there to help all of the schools and the surrounding schools. The Pawnee and the surrounding schools have made appointments specifically to come see the exhibit and to tour Pawneeville. I mean, I'm very, very excited about that. We're practically booked with appointments during the week, so that's very exciting. On that note, I need volunteers. We need help on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday afternoon mainly. We need 2 to 4 people every single day, just to be greeters, to thank people for coming, just to show up. So if you're interested, please give me a call. If you're not, I'll probably call you anyway. Because we're definitely going to, I think we're going to be very, very proud of Pawnee because we won this. There was only 6 cities in the state that won this Smithsonian exhibit. If you look on that card, that will show you all of the events on every single weekend that we're going to have. The opening weekend is March the 26th. We hope to have a downtown parade. We're still working on that. But the big thing will be the opening ceremony and ribbon cutting at 1 o'clock. Tentatively, we have a lieutenant governor coming. Of course, we have our representatives, we have our mayor, we have, I believe, Jordan has been invited, Mr. Canumo is going to speak, so lots of dignitaries. The next, April 6th is the next weekend. That's stage right performances are going to be down at the Buffalo Theater. And Ms. Thompson, who owns the Buffalo now, is guaranteeing that she's going to have some sort of Oklahoma historical movie every Saturday afternoon. So we're excited about that. The next weekend is April 9th. That's Chuck Wagon, Blacksmith, Live Entertainment, Wild West Show entertainers up on the hill. That's kind of going to be our biggest weekend with lots of activities. The next is April 16th. That's Easter weekend. So there again, we have our Lions Easter egg hunt. Chris, I'm not sure, what's the number of years that we've had this going? I can't remember right offhand. At least 150, right? Yeah. A long, long time, but it's Lions Easter egg hunt that weekend. The next one, we have performances by Rooster Cogburn and Company at the Buffalo Theater, and he's going to do what he calls a presentation of the killing of the last great outlaw. He has several people coming to be a part of that show. So I'm anxious to see what he's going to do, so don't miss that. And all of this is free. There's no charge for any of this. So please come out and enjoy it. We're going to have tours of the Pawnee Indian College and the campus, April the 30th. The closing ceremony is May the 7th. That is when we're going to announce the winner of our high school essay contest. Pastor Richmond Adams is in charge of that. So we're trying to bring the kids in as much as we can. I think another really important thing that you all need to know that we have a very strong board of directors at the chamber. We have this year for 22, we have a new president, Chance Tatum, who's here. Thanks, Chance. We have a new vice president, Gary Goldberg. Our rest of our directors are all there. We do have one new director, and that's Ronnie Graham. So I'm thrilled to have Ronnie on board with us. The membership drive has been extremely good this year. I'm thrilled, very, very, very happy. We have lots of new members. We have members that have stepped up from being silver, they've gone gold. We have a new platinum member, that is the Pawnee Tribal Development Corporation. They are representing 6 businesses that have joined the chamber. They have not been a member for many years, and I'm just thrilled to have them part of the chamber. The overall community support has been fantastic, and I think you can see that also on your table is the Pawnee Chamber Business Directory. Almost every single business in Pawnee is represented, and the Pawnee Nation are represented in this directory. We have placed this directory in all businesses in town, so if you're out, please let me know. I have boxes of them. So we want to make sure that everybody that comes to town has this directory, so they do use our businesses. The things that are going to go on past, or actually before, I skipped one. coming up very soon is March the 12th, is the Mid-South Gravel 100-mile bicycle race. They start in Stillwater. They go 100 miles on dirt and hopefully muddy gravel roads, because that's what they love. And they come through Pawnee, and as of this morning, they have 2,500 signed up. They're going to be coming to Pawnee. So that's March the 12th. We have several events planned for them. We have food. We also have warming stations. We're going to, in case there's bad weather, March 26th, we have snow and rain and ice, who knows, or March 12th rather. But the Masonic Lodge, the Buffalo Theater, City Hall, the Chamber Office, we are all going to have open doors. And what I would also like to make sure that every business in Pawnee, all of our restaurants, of course, are open on Saturday, but every business needs to stay open. We have an opportunity with that many people coming to Pawnee. Please stay open. Let's show them that, as our superintendent said, we are proud of our town. We want to show it off. So we've got a heck of an opportunity. Also, May the 7th and 8th, we have the 100-mile yard sale, the steam engine shows that weekend. Of course, in the rest of the year, we're going to continue with the 4th of July games on the square. I'm sure I'll throw in another event in there somewhere. So we've got lots going on in Pawnee, and Mayor Alice, I have to take this time to say I appreciate your help so very, very much. Thank you. You're a go-getter. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Joyce. Next, we have Mr. Jordan Canuho, he is the Vice President of the Pawnee Nation Business Council.
I brought my notes too that are on iPad, so you don't know how many notes I got on here because it's on iPad. So I can be up here for 30 minutes, I guess, if I needed to be, but I'm not. So we had barbecue, and if you're like me, if you eat barbecue, you got a time limit of how long you're going to be awake. So it won't be too long in that. But it is good to be here tonight. I do appreciate the invitation, Mayor Cottle, for being able to come and just share what the Pawnee Nation is doing. I also want to say thank you to the City Council as well, and just your being here, and also the work that you do for the City of Pawnee. Thank you to the Fire Department as well for hosting the barbecue and the meal. Appreciate that as well. Very delicious, and it is good to be here tonight. And I do want to acknowledge one of our council members that is with us tonight is Secretary Gardapi. He's with us this evening as well. And I do come on behalf of the Pawnee Nation Business Council. We have President Ekahawk, Secretary Gardapi, Treasurer Carol Chapman, and then we also have our council seat as well. Council seat 1 is Cynthia Butler. Council seat 2 is Donna Hare. Council seat 3 is Dr. Gene Evans. Council seat 4 is Ms. Sandy Kimball. So that comprises our Pawnee Nation Business Council, and then we also have our Chiefs Council as well, considering our 4 bands as well of the Pawnee Nation. So it is good to be at this tonight, and I just want to say, as far as where we are with the Pawnee Nation, sometimes it's good to give context of where we are, right? How things are going. Because if I tell you all the good, you won't appreciate it unless you know the bad, at least. You're like, oh man, he's going to tell all the dirty laundry of the Pawnee Nation. I'm going to say all that. But I want to say this much, is that when I first came on at the Pawnee Nation back in 2020, our tribe and our tribal government was going through recall at the time, and I actually ran on the term that was being finished out by my predecessor of the vice president spot. And during that time, whenever I decided to run, it was during the beginning of the pandemic. We remember we didn't know very much about it. All we were being told was flatten the curve, flatten the curve. That's all I remember. And the 2 weeks that we were told to flatten it stretched out to where we are today, but that's a whole different thing. But what I want to say is this, is during that time, it was just a confusing time. It was a difficult time. But in the midst of that, the nation itself was going through their hard time as well. Not only dealing with the pandemic, but also dealing with a council that needed the structure and support, because we did go through recall And so I prayed about it, and I do that with everything that I do in my decision making and my leadership is prayer and seeking the Lord in that. And I prayed before I even threw my name in there to run for the position of Vice President of the Pawnee Business Council. And I know that God was in it, and God continues to be in it. And along with that, I am thankful for the support that I have with the blessing He has given me, who is my wife Amanda here, that's with us as well. And through that, I ran for the council seat, and I won that, obviously, and then I finished out that term. Going into 2021 now, you're like, man, he's in 2020. How long are we going to be here tonight? But I just want to say this much. In 2021, we went through continuing to figure the things out in the pandemic, and that was our election year. And so we had 4 spots available, and the 4 spots was Vice President, Secretary, Council Seat 3, Council Seat 4. And the council members that I've mentioned there, Secretary Garda P., Dr. Gene Evans, and Sammy Kimball, all were elected back in May, including myself. And so from there, we continue to persevere, we continue to push. And one of the things that we're proud of and we accomplished was to pass a balanced budget within the government of the Pawnee Nation. And to us, that was an achievement because that was something that hadn't been done in quite some time. But if you know, as a government structure is, passing a balanced budget is something to hang your hat on, but it's also something that you have to tighten the purse strings a little bit more as you serve, as you operate as a government. And we had to do the same. And some of our revenue comes from gaming. We have our casino there at the post. When you cross over on the Green Bridge, that brand new Green Bridge that I'm going to talk about here in a minute, when you cross over there, we have our gaming there at the post. We have our gaming in Yale, and we also have our gaming there off of Highway 412, the Cimarron Turnpike, the Stone Wolf Casino. Well, as you know, as much as you all remember back in the pandemic, is that we had to close, we had to shut down. And when you're not open, obviously you're not making any money. And so just as we passed the balanced budget, what we also had to do was deal with the fact that we were dealing with revenue that was being affected and being hurt at the time. And so with that, we had to make some hard choices. You know, that's why it's important to pray for your leadership. Because sometimes they got to make the hard choices. They got to make the difficult decisions that sometimes they don't want to make, but in order to make sure things are operating the way they need to and ensure that things are going the way that has been planned, those decisions need to be made. And so we decided that we had to, in the first quarter, we had to operate on hours reduced, and we even had to let some go. And that was a hard decision to make, but we're thankful that during 2021, we began to see our casinos begin to open up, our gaming began to open up, and we began to see the uptick in our revenue again from there. And it did help that we did get some American Rescue Plan Act funding as well that came in to supplement a lot of the revenue that was lost. And we are on better ground because of that today. And so in 2020, not only did we go through that, but we also had the elections. And I just want to highlight 2021, I should say. I want to highlight some of the things that happened last year. One of the things that happened is we had the grand opening of our new fitness center that just opened up in 2021. As you can tell, I'm not a regular attendee there. So we have to, oh man, it's kind of sad you laughed at that because that affirms it. But we had the grand opening of the fitness center there, and I know many of our tribal members are people who have memberships there, and I know many of the citizens of the city of Pawnee are members there as well. It's a fitness center that was designed and built to accommodate those who want to work out in a safe environment, in a clean environment, and that was funded through CARES funding that came about in 2020. Also, too, we held from our Indian Health Services there at the Pawnee Nation Reserve a community vaccination and testing that was available. Along with that, we also had a grand opening for our new Covet storage and distribution center. This is a facility that we had a meat distribution that we had to provide for our tribal members, and we also did a distribution of a community food bundle as well, where it was not just only to our tribal members, but even some of those within the city limits as well. And we had them come out and they were blessed by that as well. And so it has the ability to house those kinds of items. We have a freezer there, we have a refrigeration unit there, we also have storage space there, offices there. And that was in response of the pandemic, and that is currently being used by our Department of Natural Resources and Safety at this time. Also within 2021, we have sponsored in part with also our City of Pawnee's Chamber, as well as the Trunk and Treat that I know many of you enjoy doing. We also had a Purple Block Party to bring awareness for violence against women. And as I mentioned earlier, we also had our Green Bridge grand opening, where we also invited Mayor Cottle. I know some of the City of Pawnee's council members was there as well. And that was a very good occasion for us, as I know many of our employees have been having to use that detour during that time for the Green Bridge grand opening. And so on that, we also, through our planning division, purchased a fire truck, and that fire truck is used in the community to help respond to community fires as well. And so with the challenges that we faced in 2020 and the things that we've seen in 2021, it puts us on a good foundation of what we're going to be seeing in 2022. Toward the end of 2021, Pawnee Nation had acquired some land. One piece of land, the tract there is 1,120 acres, just outside, just near Merrimack. And we also acquired 48.5 acres adjacent to our tribal reserve. And so with that, we are looking towards 2022. And I didn't have a watch to start, so I'm gonna look at it right now. 15 minutes now, start. We have now going into 2022, and I'm excited about this year. As a new council member, I'm just learning, I'm getting my feet wet. I'm learning the ins and outs of serving on council and everything else. So now I've kind of gotten my feet wet and figuring things out just as much as your mayor is. And everything else, and learning the ropes. And now that we're to that point, it's exciting to see what's to come and what's happening with the Pawnee Nation, and how's that going to benefit the city of Pawnee. And again, I'm thankful to have the invitation to come and speak to everyone here for the State of the City address, because what benefits the nation in turn benefits the city. Because of the jobs that we can create and bringing revenue to the businesses, as we heard from Joyce, of having businesses open and having employees come to eat at those restaurants or purchase certain items at your businesses. It's good for all of us, and having those employees who have kids who go to the school system, as we heard from the superintendent tonight. In 2022, we have our behavioral health facility that we are underway planning and getting ready for. The Business Council has already allocated land for that, and we are well into the project of our behavioral health facility. Pawnee Nation Behavioral Health Facility proposes to construct a building that is approximately 28,975 square feet. This is going to be a standalone 26-bed adult and geriatric inpatient and outpatient behavioral health treatment facility in Pawnee, Oklahoma. The proposed facility shall be located in Service Area 11 as designated by the Oklahoma Department of Health Inpatient Service Region map. This project will require licensure by the State of Oklahoma Department of Health and Regulatory Oversight. And this project, as estimated when we first received this proposal, will cost $14.7 million. Currently, right now, we are working with a group called Ascension. And I asked the question, is that Ascension like that bought St. John? And they said, no, it's a different Ascension. I was like, man, we're about to get big time here. But it's a different Ascension. Y'all thought we were like, man, we're getting St. John kind of stuff here in Pawnee. I already asked the question, see? It's a group, though. They're a group that helps these startup facilities like this. They bring in the people who are trained and everything else, and what they do is they train the people over time to run the facility, and they kind of step back at that point. One of the exciting things about this is, and with Ascension too, is that they've already started to write grants themselves to go after funding to construct this facility, to begin getting the people to operate the facility. We had a meeting last week in discussion of that, and we just passed, the Business Council passed an LLC that is a for-profit LLC to operate that facility. And this facility potentially will employ between 40 to 70 people, and it will have a meaningful economic impact to the community. Can you imagine that 40 to 70 more people who live in Pawnee, who have children who come to Pawnee, who buy products in Pawnee, who go and eat at the restaurants in Pawnee. As I said, what we do at the nation does have a good impact for the city of Pawnee. And that's why I'm so thankful for Mayor Cottle, who is willing to reach across the Green Bridge per se and ask for our input on certain things as well, because I believe government to government relations that are strong like that benefit the people. This facility as well, it's going to be creating a sustainable behavioral and treatment facility for Native Americans and other demographically underserved groups. It's also going to, our community faces a huge epidemic by the opioid and substance abuse crisis in the state of Oklahoma. If you begin to ask people what's one of the biggest problems facing our citizens today, is an opioid and a substance abuse problem. Meth is one of the biggest issues that the city and this county faces, and we are doing what we can to combat that, and this is one of those avenues that we're looking for to do that as well. Approximately 6 private rooms are designed to care for patients with more severe symptoms, separated from those with less severe symptoms that's going to be in this building. In addition, the hospital shall have approximately 10 semi-private beds. These semi-private beds will afford the opportunity for socialization, patient-friendly transactions and amenities, and staff effectiveness without compromising patient safety. That was my cue to stop here. Test, there we go. And so that's one of the things that we're looking forward to 2022. Another thing is housing, a new housing plan. And as I said, Secretary Gardapi has a good handle on our housing aspect. He works for the housing. And with that, the Housing Authority will be looking at mapping out land to start building adequate housing in our community. Can you hear me back there? Yeah. All right, good. And so we're also looking at developing more housing for the city of Pawnee. I know one of the things, talking with Secretary Gardapi, is looking at, there we go, I'll turn that off, is looking at our renters and establishing ordinances that will help strengthen the rental property within Pawnee as well. And that will just, again, makes the city of Pawnee a place to come and live, a place to come and work, and it'll make something that will be strong for the city of Pawnee. And then also too, new infrastructure funding that will come down, and we're looking at infrastructure such as broadband. Right now, we're in the middle, we're at the very end, actually I should say, of finishing a broadband grant called Reconnect that's funded through the USDA. Under the USDA, you have the Rural Utility Service, and we're looking at a grant that should fund a rural broadband capacity within the county of Pawnee. And just this past week, last week actually, we had a meeting about that. And the rural component of this grant, we weren't meeting the minimum requirements, so we might actually have to go into Noble County as well. But for the county of Pawnee, that's where we're going to begin to start building out as well. And so if we do get this grant, it'll be a $25 million grant, and this will be the backbone, I guess, if you will, for broadband service and internet to Pawnee, and we'll just build out from that. There's Community Connect that will also be offered further on down the road from USDA, where we can come into the city of Pawnee and offer better, high-speed, reliable, and affordable internet for the citizens of Pawnee and the citizens of Pawnee Nation. Also, too, we are looking at more health events, health challenges, golf tournament, health fair, and blood drives. I can help out with the blood drive. Don't ask me to help out with the golf tournament. I play once a year, and that's all I can do. So if you want to ask me to play golf, I'll go play golf with you. And we're also looking at other ideas such as solar projects in the near future as well. And so, as I said, it's good to be here tonight. And like I said, I just wanted to share what we're doing and how it's going to benefit the city of Pawnee as well. Again, Mayor Kyle, I appreciate this opportunity to come and just give you all a window of what's going on at the Pawnee Nation, what we're doing, and initiatives that we're going after. And we have a great council that we're working with, led by President Echohawk. And we're just anxious to see what 2022 is going to bring and what it's going to do to help our members and what it's going to help to also help the city of Pawnee. So with that, thank you all very much. She's always good and telling me things. Councilwoman Harris here as well. I didn't see her. She wasn't at my VIP table. It is good to see you, Councilwoman, here with us as well.
Thank you very much, Jordan. Jordan's kind of hard to follow. He's a very good public speaker. I am working on that. So I am just really excited to share with you about our plans for the city. But first, I'd like to take a little bit to celebrate and acknowledge all of those who make this community all that it is. Pawnee is a prime example of small town rural America. We work hard to sustain life here for each other and ourselves. We work together to offer events, services, and merchandise. We help raise each other's babies, and we respect the elders who have paved the way for us to continue to have Pawnee. Together we are Pawnee, and together we keep Pawnee. I'd like to celebrate those who keep our infrastructure and emergency services up and going, our keepers of the city, our City of Pawnee staff. From utility personnel, streets, libraries, parks, clerks, to emergency staff with police, ambulance, dispatch, and fire, we truly could not continue our community without them. If you are a City of Pawnee staff member, would you please stand up?
Fabulous to work with. They're one of the reasons I wanted to serve in this capacity. I've been on city council for 5 years and I've always appreciated all of them, and they're just a wonderful group of people. Moving on, I want to thank our Pawnee City Council for all the time, thoughts, and plans they put into decisions for our city. They carefully consider each vote they make and speak on behalf of you. They are the lifeline from citizens to city action. If you're a Pawnee City Council member, would you please stand? Our Pawnee Chamber of Commerce does an amazing job at their mission statement to advocate the development and assist the economic well-being of existing and new businesses while promoting the city of Pawnee and the Pawnee community. We can credit a lot of our revenue and tight-knit community to the work of our chamber. From events to support for businesses, they are right there walking hand in hand with the city, and it is a great hand to hold. Joyce, would you please stand again? Our county commissioners and crews are always willing to help us out with projects. Without their help, we would not be able to complete a lot of our improvements to our streets. We are thankful for all the work they do surrounding our city throughout Pawnee County. And we've got Jerry in the back. Jerry, would you stand? The Pawnee Nation is also a huge contributor to our success as a city. As you heard Vice President speak, they stay busy improving Pawnee Nation and assisting the city of Pawnee completing projects that offer our community a host of opportunities, programs, and events. If you are with the Pawnee Nation Business Council, would you please stand? Our Rodeo Foundation is also a big part of the city. They lend a hand anytime they can. They are phenomenal workers and they love to assist everyone. And did you know the Pawneeville Memorial Rodeo won the International Professional Rodeo Association #1 Outdoor Rodeo of the Year for 2021. They bring thousands to our city each year, and they are wonderful, wonderful contributors. If you are on the Rodeo Foundation, would you please stand? And of course, we'd like to recognize the importance of our Pawnee School Board and the Pawnee Public School staff. Their dedication to our youngest citizens, to our citizens who are close to spreading their wings, is an amazing commitment to offer us and our future. They fill our children with love, discipline, and knowledge, and those values and skills they work hard to instill in our children is a gift our children will carry forever. If you volunteer or work at the school or on the school board, would you please stand? Other key assets to our success are our churches and other community organizations. Our churches and community organizations such as UCAP, the Pawnee Ball Board, and many others help hold us together and unite us. We are truly blessed to have so many organizations extending their services and watching over our well-being. If you volunteer or serve the community in any capacity, would you please stand? That's probably all of you. And a very big thank you to those who invest and give their all to provide us with services and merchandise. Our small businesses. Rural communities such as ours were founded on small businesses and local shopping. Oftentimes, these businesses are ran by families. Here in Pawnee, rural America, we often run our businesses while raising families alongside our daily business. Just last week, as I was running downtown at dusk, I noticed a little one shooting hoops at her parents' furniture store as the mama finished up an order and the daddy was making the last delivery of the day. We see little ranch hands coming into town with mom and dad after a good morning's work. We see families supporting families. We see couples running their businesses together, growing old, and providing us with services for decades. I'd like to thank all of our small business owners for your investment in this community, and your work is truly appreciated by us all. If you are a small business owner here tonight, would you please stand? Make it Last, I want to celebrate our citizens. Pawnee is full of people who are here because they enjoy this pace of life. Whether you are a transplant or come from a long line of Pawnee people, we all have and feel Pawnee pride. Pawnee is our home sweet home, and it is the people who reside here. Together we are Pawnee. Thank you all. A city's strength is reflected in the opportunities it has for its citizens. Thank you all who are here in Pawnee providing services and support. Together we sustain this community. And I feel that the state of our city is at a crossroads. Will we lay down and watch our city age and crumble as some small towns do, or will we stand up and build on the foundation we have here and provide the support needed to continue as a small community with much to offer its citizens? We are at a point where a choice must be made. We are at a point of change, and it is up to each one of us to usher in a new era of prosperity for our community, an era of prosperity for our city and for our citizens. We've faced financial hardships, empty storefronts, dilapidating infrastructure, and a dwindling population in past years. But we are beginning to see change. We are working together to create a vision for our city, and together we will achieve that vision. We are seeing a resurgence in our city, and we must build momentum to keep moving forward. Rural Americans work diligently to keep their communities alive. We decide our community's fate by how we interact in our community. We do this by shopping local, banking local, investing in our homes and property, opening businesses, and by volunteering and providing each other with encouragement and support. Pawnee citizens voted in favor of becoming a city of first class on May 12th of 1907, after exceeding a population of 2,000. Since this time, our population has continually hovered around 2,000. We stayed afloat by sticking together, and that is what we need to continue to do. We need to focus on what our city needs in order to continue to serve our population. What will it take to retain our citizens, bring our babies back to plant their roots here, and attract new citizens to Pawnee? It will take us facing our issues together and working to solve them together. We do have a few things holding us back from keeping Pawnee at its best to serve this community. With that being said, they are all things we can work towards to achieve, but we must have a plan. We can have a solid city budget with transparency, fiscal organization, and efficient city operations. We can strengthen our Pawnee community. We can revitalize our business district, residential areas, recreational areas, and our city infrastructure. We can have an energetic environment focused on growth and unison. All of these things are obtainable for Pawnee. It may take us a while to get there, but with a plan and action from community leaders government, and community involvement, we can see this community thrive. In October, a group of community members from different local organizations and businesses had the opportunity to meet with me and GRDA Economic Consultants to discuss their ideas and concerns about our city. Together, we developed a vision for our city, and now I'm working to implement these plans to serve these visions and make them a reality for us all. And the reality is that if we want more for our community, we must give more. We must give our community more attention, whether that is keeping up with local news or shopping more local merchants, attending more chamber events, jumping in to serve on a local board, volunteering for emergency services with the ambulance or fire department, cleaning up our own properties, or simply encouraging one another and making Pawnee a place to feel welcomed and accepted. First, we can look at city finances and operations, our economic growth, infrastructure, and quality of life, which are all the priorities for our 2022 vision and planning. We've been working hard at City Hall to organize our city operations more efficiently. The City of Pawnee workforce plays a vital role in the overall well-being of our city. I stepped into the mayor's office at the end of September 2021. I've spent the last 5 months watching and experiencing city operations and have began to make changes to help implement more transparency and efficiency for us at City Hall and for the citizens we serve. One of the changes we have made is closing City Hall at noon on Fridays to complete end-of-the-work clerical tasks and focus on city planning. In January, we received a very positive report from our financial consultant, Mrs. Linda Ward, that we were up to date on checking reconciliations for the first time in years. Our goal is to become more efficient and become more current in every aspect of our bookkeeping and reporting to the public. I will soon be giving monthly budget reports to help us all identify how our community is functioning financially. I have been requesting weekly department reports from each city department, including a priority list for their week and a brief summary of what they accomplished each day. I'm working on updating the City of Pawnee Employee Handbook that was last updated in 2009. We have gone years without employee job performance reviews, and that process is being reinstated and reviews will be given annually again. There will be more expectation of professional development hours for each employee to keep employees current on job performance standards for each position. We are working on making an inventory list of all of our city vehicles and their scheduled maintenance to better take care of our fleet of vehicles. And my hope is by the end of 2022, we can be operating more efficiently and with more accuracy in our finances and be able to offer a clear snapshot of all our finances, department workload, and their accomplishments to the City of Pawnee and the community. What can we do to encourage and spark economic prosperity for our community? I believe we have started that process with our visioning and planning. Have you heard the saying, if you don't know where you are going, any road will take you there? Successful communities know where they are going. That is one of the reasons I wanted to hold this event this evening. We need to get on board together, join hands, and know where we want to go. If we want to see an era of rapid growth, we need a proactive approach to addressing our current and future problems. We need leadership that is not confined to a few elected officials and business leaders. We need broad-based strategic planning. Successful leadership requires the knowledge, talents, and perspectives of every piece of the community. This type of planning and implementation will form a mega crossroads and will strengthen community connections and resources. Successful communities are those that create crossroads where leaders come together and accomplish shared community objectives. Small towns are served best when there is a holistic approach to economic development. I am hoping 2022 will be a year of growth for Pawnee, a year where we see our population, opportunities, infrastructure, and economy begin to grow. From 1910 to 2020, our census numbers have fluctuated from 2,161 to our peak in the 1950s with 282,861 to our current 2020 census number of 2,068 residents. I believe we can grow again. What will it take to keep our families here? What can we do to provide the necessities for families and our aging population? What factors determine the quality of life? Economic security, physical safety, governance and basic rights, leisure and social interactions, education, health, material living conditions, and our environment. My priorities and projects for the coming year are focused on the quality of life for our community. From economics to environment, we are working hard to see growth. In 2022, I have several projects on my to-do list for our city to accomplish together. One of the projects that I'm receiving most inquiry about is the old Pawnee Hospital building. In December, I submitted a project description to the OSU School of Civil and Environmental Engineering. The project requested a feasibility study for the building to be remodeled into a community resource center. The project was accepted by OSU and we began working with senior engineering students this month. Our plans are to look at how to transform this vacant, dilapidating space into a building that could serve every age in Pawnee. The plans include a senior center, a child care facility, after-school program, public library, youth center geared for middle and high school students, and a gathering space for community functions. We also hope to bring the American Red Cross into this project to help us identify what steps we need to take to make this an emergency shelter for the community in the event of a natural disaster or another emergency. The outside of the Community Resource Center would have a paved walking track, a splash pad, a large playground, a basketball court, pavilion, and of course, beautiful landscaping. I am meeting with this group of engineering students throughout the semester. While the students are working on the feasibility of the structure, I am working on the financial feasibility. The Resource Center would partner with other entities to provide the cost of meals to senior and the child care facility each day. The city already has a budget in place for the library, and the child care and after-school program would bring in revenue for the facility and would create several new jobs for our community while providing more early education choices for working parents. More opportunities for seniors, working parents, children, and youth can help us retain and bring in citizens. When the feasibility study for the building and the feasibility study for the operational costs are complete, we will submit the information for a grant in hopes for construction costs. I am really enjoying this project and working with the students. They're very excited about it. There's also history students who are working on the project as well to kind of retain the history of the hospital. So if the rehab does follow through, it will have lots of pictures of the Pawnee Hospital and kind of artifacts that have been left inside of it would tie into pieces for the community to see. We're working diligently on city beautification. We have a beautiful city, but we desperately need to focus on cleaning up. City beautification is an important piece of economic development and our well-being. One of the ways I'm addressing this need is for the city working with other entities to help us propel our mission. I have signed the city up as an affiliate member of Keep Oklahoma Beautiful. Being an affiliate member with Keep Oklahoma Beautiful provides us grant opportunities and material for city beautification. Along with funding sources, they offer workshops and help us organize cleanup days for our city. I have begun organizing days for our community to participate in the Great American Cleanup. The Great American Cleanup will involve painting parks, picking up trash, cleaning out downtown bump outs, planting flowers, painting crosswalks, and other tasks. You can check Facebook and the Pawnee Chief for ways to participate in the coming week. In December, I applied for 2 Keep Oklahoma Beautiful grants. One was a roadside beautification grant, and the other was an environmental grant. Both grants submitted were approved. The roadside grant will go to the new downtown park, and the environmental grant funds will go to the Pawnee Environmental Education Center, or as I call it, the outdoor classroom at the lake. The downtown park is located next to where the buffalo roam. First Bank and Trust donated the lots to the city, and we are excited to provide a park for downtown gatherings, performances, and play dates. The outdoor classroom that received the environmental grant is located just east of the bathhouse. This space used to be an old hatchery and is the neatest little area to linger and just enjoy our little piece of this earth. This project will include addressing several features that can be used by all ages. We will be adding climbing structures, nature trail signs, a labyrinth, sundial, and other features to use as you explore these trails. This space also includes a tree identification walk. I applied for a DEQ environmental education grant, and it was also approved to add new signage for this space. We have also put in a OG&E PASH grant to provide landscaping costs for the Pawnee bathhouse, and we've also applied for a Lowe's equipment grant to provide more equipment for lawn care. Another area of city beautification is working on residential areas. I am looking into options and opportunities for neighborhood cleanup days. We will be announcing plans and dates for those cleanup projects in the month of March. I'm also working with the Pawnee Nation Housing Authority, and we both agree we have some hard work ahead of us for our residential areas. We will be meeting regularly and discuss ideas and funding sources that can help remove dilapidated homes and provide new housing options. My goal is to see more options for housing for each socioeconomic status. We need to have homes in varying price ranges and sizes to retain and attract citizens. I'm also working on a housing ordinance to bring in front of council that would address landlord accountability to provide safe, clean, and adequate rental housing. Cleaning up our residential areas is vital for our well-being as a city. We're also very focused on recreation and tourism. Recreation is vital to the community and its overall wellness. My goal is to improve recreational opportunities we currently have and to add more options for us. As I mentioned before, we will be painting and cleaning parks around town and the lake this spring. We will be adding new small features to each park and with the help of volunteer and donations. We will have them clean and a little small new feature at each one. A little goes a long way around here. I am currently working on a grant for a large playground, but in the meantime, we can get to work with what we have. One of my recreational projects began last spring as I began working with the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife to secure a boating and fishing access project for our Pawnee Lake. The planning period for this project is 1.5 to 2 years, and we are finally getting to the good part. Plans are happening, and we will be getting this project soon. This recreational project will add about $250,000 of new infrastructure out of the lake. We will complete the project in 2 phases. Phase 1 will be paving the parking lot at the boat docks, adding a restroom, signage, and more lighting for the area. Phase 2 will be installing an enclosed heated and cooled crappie dock. The dock will also host several spots for boats. This project will add more recreation for the community while attracting tourists to our lake. Another area of recreation is our library, and we have begun revamping the space and bringing the library in hopes to bring the library out to the community. We added a new position to the library. This position is currently hiring, and this will serve as a library tech and community engagement representative. We will be offering a lot more at the library coming soon, and we will also see this represented at community events. We need a strong library program. We need game days for our seniors, book clubs, story hours, and summer reading programs. We need kids to be picking up the books in the summer and families making memories in the library. We need the space to be a community asset. One of the new features of the library will host a housing and job hub. This job hub will include an area for employees to post their jobs available, leave applications, and we will be providing resources to help those seeking employment. We plan on hosting quarterly job fairs as well. The housing hub that we will include will list homes and photos of homes along with information about the average cost of housing in Pawnee. We really want to create more informed renters, and we want them to know what to look for in homes and what to look for in a landlord. Renters need to know what they should expect from the process of renting. We will host workshops on basic home maintenance and how to have more energy efficient homes. My hope is to have the library as an educational, economic source and also a source of recreation for all people. Pawnee is a wonderful tourist destination, and I am focused on building tourism in Pawnee. We have a lot to offer sightseers, museum junkies, history gurus, shoppers, outdoor enthusiasts, rodeo fans. We have a little bit of something for everyone. With three museums, a #1 rodeo, historic downtown full of lively shops, Pawnee Nation, Forgotten Oklahoma headquarters, historic Buffalo Theater, and Pawnee Lake and Campgrounds, we've got quite a list of things for tourists to do when they come to town. Buffalo Theater is currently in the process of restoring the theater and has had many movie showings and musical performances in the past few months. They are in the process of helping Pawnee become a film-friendly industry, and she does have an open meeting at the Buffalo Theater at 2 o'clock on Monday for anybody that's interested in the process of our city becoming a film-friendly industry. Forgotten Oklahoma has over 140 Facebook followers, and they are currently working on a bed and breakfast for our community. This new lodging is sure to stay booked and provide us with much needed accommodations. She's very popular in social media world, and so I think we'll have a lot of people coming here to stay and kind of see where the headquarters are and visit with her. We are adding the crappie dock, as I spoke about, and a lot of other little additions and repairs around the lake this year. We've added grills and fire pits to our primitive camping. We've just done a lot of cleanup. We've added stuff to the boat ramps. Just lots of small things, and doing all of those small things really makes a big impact. Our campgrounds are one of our top 5 revenue sources, and we need to focus on increasing our attention to this site and invest in an area that has given Pawnee funding and fun for decades. Our lake and campgrounds house 150 campsites and have the following amenities. We have the WPA Historic Bathhouse, swimming, environmental education center with outdoor classroom, tree identification walk, dog park, 9-hole golf course, gun range, boating, fishing, horseback riding, rodeo grounds with event center, parks, airport, and a 5-mile track that goes all around the lake, making this an ideal spot for running and cyclist enthusiasts. We can invest a little in our tourist attractions. With the security, we will see a return in our investments. Tourism has a place in Pawnee, and I am ready to work diligently to see it grow. Sports are also a very big aspect for our little town, and I've had several people ask me to look into a sports complex. That is a project I have not begun yet, but it is on my radar to find $500,000 and 8 to 10 acres. But it is something that we are looking at acquiring. Recreation is an extremely important aspect of any community, and we can do better, and we will do better. Infrastructure for 2022. Whew. We need attention from the ground up around here. From our streets to our electric lines, we do need improvements. In October, we applied for a REAP grant to help with street repairs. We are awarded $50,000, and we will begin resurfacing an area on 9th Street at the late April. This will be a collaborative project with the Pawnee Streets Department, the county, and Pawnee Nation. We are continuing to look for funding for our roads. It's a very expensive endeavor, and so that will be something that we keep on our radar 24/7. We are looking into advanced metering infrastructure. This process would include replacing all old electric and water meters with new advanced meters. These meters would be extremely accurate of utility usage, unlike our current meters. The system would send meter information directly to our clerks at City Hall. This would eliminate the need for our water and electric department to read meters for 1 week out of every month, allowing them to focus on more repairs and improvements for our city. The time they spend reading meters would be better spent doing right-of-way clearing or repairing water leaks and other tasks we have a hard time keeping up with. Reading meters takes 12 weeks of every year. Adding AMI would give us more accuracy in utility revenue and allow us to accomplish more pressing tasks for improving our infrastructure. I will be attending a meeting March 22nd with more specifics for our community, and then council will be presented with options. My top infrastructure goal is to have the water treatment plant and wastewater treatment plant back in full operational status and be in good standing with DEQ. In the middle of 2021, we received a notice that we had 30 non-compliant items with the DEQ. I have scheduled a meeting and walkthrough with an engineer to help us identify what kind of engineering report we are needing to help us get back on track. This information will also be used to apply for a grant that we are working on to help fund repairs. We will also be using some of our ARPA funds for repairs. We are considering obtaining a master service agreement with an agency that would come and make necessary repairs to the complex components that are no longer in working order and require specific skilled labor to repair. My goal is to have the plants in complete compliance with DEQ and our citizens satisfied with Pawnee water quality. This is achievable, and I believe we will be there by the end of the year. Infrastructure projects are a pressing need for our community, and we will work endlessly this year to provide improvements. Street improvements, possible utility upgrades, water quality and plant repair, new infrastructure coming with the new elementary school and new property dock at the lake, I think are heading us in the right direction. Industry is definitely on my radar. I hope to add to our industrial park this year. We recently had one of our tenants relocate, and we are seeking a new industry for our building located at 1310 Sewell Drive. We have an appraisal set for this property, and council will be looking at selling the property versus leasing the building. I will be advertising the site and other available land at the industrial park on the state chamber site for buildings and space available for industries. I will spend time this year trying to recruit new industries to our city. We have room to grow at the Pawnee Industrial Park, but we must actively engage in promoting and attracting industries. We need to seek them so that they seek us. One of the issues preventing more industries from coming into our community is the lack of urgent care. I'm in the midst of preparing 3 different options for our council to look at regarding urgent care. Not only is this a vital piece for attracting businesses and industries, this is a critical piece for our citizens that we are missing. I am developing plans for a Pawnee medical complex that would include health services, urgent care, and our Pawnee ambulance service in one facility. Of course, I've only been in office for 5 months. These are very beginning stages of plans, but they are in motion, and we are having lots of support with them. I'm hoping to have some of these options available when we start planning our budgeting for the fiscal year 2023. This facility would create more jobs and attract more citizens and industries by providing all of us here already a much-needed service. All of these areas we have discussed are vital to us being able to sustain ourselves here in rural America, and we need to pay close attention to them. We need to be planning, locating, and saving funding sources. Strong local economies include a lot of different sectors and industries working together to contribute our prosperity. The City of Pawnee needs to actively seek out other funding sources to propel our local economy and begin budgeting for growth each year. Since October, we have received around $180,000 in ARPA funds, a land donation for a downtown park valued at $25,000, $60,000 in grants we've applied for, $5,000 in donations, and secured a fishing and boating access project that will provide us with at least $250,000 in new infrastructure. That is $523,000, a little over $500,000 since October. We can keep pursuing finances, and we can keep growing. We will try, and we will try actively to obtain funding through ARPA funds that are available right now, grants, and to seek collaboration on projects with community organizations. If there's an opportunity out there that could be for us, we need to pursue it. We need to be committed to seeing Pawnee evolve, and that will only happen when we work together and reach out for other sources. Pawnee has so much to offer, and the foundation is here for improvements. We offer a slower paced life, friendly small town people, neighbors you know, quaint shops, open spaces with beautiful scenery, historic homes and buildings, parades, festivals, and streets that are safe and free of congestion. We have a sense of uniqueness and charm that cannot be replicated. We are blessed to have such a wonderful community. With a 2022 agenda to increase economic development, provide inclusiveness, seek and support partnerships, increase efficiency and responsiveness as a government, focus on preservation, highlight and appreciate culture, provide stellar education for our future leaders, update technology, increase tourism and recreation, beautification from downtown to neighborhoods. We have a lot of work to do. This will involve our leaders, local government, and citizens. The key to our success will be developing a roadmap where we want to go. Collaboration, getting our hands dirty, not being afraid to go after what we want, and then doing the work to get over our roadblocks. Let's start this destination to a stronger Pawnee. Let's know where we want to go and not slow down until we achieve it. Together as one, we can. We can do this as one community with one mission, with one future. Let's go into 2020 with a vision for this community and come together with enough momentum to make these plans a reality. Please remember that we all have a role in improving our community. We can see the economic growth, strengthen our infrastructure, and in return, improve our quality of life for all people in Pawnee. Shop local, invest in your home, volunteer for city improvement and beautification projects, and last but not least, be proud to live in Pawnee and love your neighbor. 2022 is going to be a great year for us, and I am honored to serve you. Thank you, Pawnee. For anyone that spoke, track them down quickly before they make their way to the door. They are all very happy to answer your questions, and thank you all so much for coming this evening. Oh, and one more thing, hold on. We actually are having our Pawnee City Council meeting, our regularly scheduled meeting, so I'm just looking for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second. Tammy, can you call the vote, please?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.